What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Constant Deposit, a sports betting podcast between myself, Kyle Mudger, and Mr. Andrew Campbell. We use FanDuel for all of our sports bets. Andrew has been on an absolute heater as of lately, and I am slowly but surely trying to get up to his level. This weekend is going to be a fantastic weekend of football. A lot of teams have already clinched their playoff spots, a lot of spots up for grabs, a lot of seeds up for grabs. And tomorrow we have a Week 17 Saturday night game, 8 o'clock, between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. So, Andrew, what are your first initial thoughts on this game? Should be a great one.
Oh man, I was looking down the lineup to see what games are left, and this is just one of the most exciting NFC matchups left that I can see. This could be a potential glimpse of what the playoffs is going to look like. Both are playoff caliber teams, both are pretty much there. I believe Dallas is clinched already. Detroit finally clinched the division for the first time in who knows how many years, which is cool to think about because I read an article the other day that said Dan Campbell was on that 0-16 Detroit Lions team. So to think that he is the person to turn around that has so much sentimental value to the team and just that in itself is another story that's really cool. But back to the fact, this game, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. You have two high caliber offense. Jared Goff under center has been doing a great job. Dak Prescott has been slinging the ball around like no other. It's going to be a fun game to watch because you're going to sprinkle in a couple good runs and people are just going to go off this game. I see both defenses having a tough time. I really think this is just going to be a high scoring game between two elite caliber QBs.
Um, it's weird to say, given the Cowboys' record, but this does feel like a must-win, given the recent stretch of games that Dallas has been playing. You just get absolutely run on by Buffalo, lose a tough one to Miami. Um, this one, it feels like it can be a Seattle Dallas game, like the one a couple weeks ago on Thursday night. You know, high scoring affair. Both teams are just matching points constantly. Um, but this is a good test for Dallas. I mean, like I said, this recent stretch of games, this is another one that was circled that they got to get. They have to prove a lot in this game. They've been outstanding at home. No one has been able to outscore them at home. They are an absolute juggernaut. Detroit already clinched the division, so they kind of got their big celebration out of the way. Now they're trying to stay in contention for that one seed, which they're very much in play for. Need some things to go their way. Dallas, there's still an outside chance at the division, but they need this for confidence heading into the playoffs, knowing that they can hang with another big dog in the conference because they've split with Philly. Some would say that they could be 2-0 against Philly, the way that they played on both games, and then they got just manhandled by the 49ers. So it's a good test for both teams heading into. We got one more week after this with Week 18, but this is definitely a big test for both these teams. We got the over/under at 52 and a half for total points. I like the over. Like I said, I can see this being like that Seattle game on that Thursday night. I can see it being a 35-31 kind of game, 30-27. I just don't see how Dallas doesn't put up over 30, and I don't see how Detroit doesn't put up over 25. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a fantastic game, and I love the over.
I'd have to agree with you, Kyle. It's very rare, though, that you see the over-under set at such a high point total. I mean, 52.5 is a pretty high point total for most games when you think about the NFL season where most are set. I mean, just last week we had a game set at a record low of, I think the Steelers game was at 30.5 for an over-under. That's 22 additional points that they're expecting to be scored this game, and it's going to be a fun one. So I do think 52.5 is attainable, though. Like you said, I see Dallas. 30 plus, and I honestly see Detroit getting in the 2024 range too. So this is going to be a fun game where two high caliber QBs are facing off to see who's the best.
And we got those quarterbacks, Dak Prescott and Jared Goff. At the time of this recording, we have Dak at 275 and a half passing yards and Jared Goff at 252 and a half. Detroit, they're not good against the pass. They're not good against the top receivers that they're going up against. So I like Dak to go over this. I know ESPN Fantasy, they're projecting him around 294. I think it's a good mark. Um, no Rico Dowdle. He is out. Dallas's backup running back. He gets a load of the carries behind Tony Pollard. So I think they're really going to put the ball in Dak's hands this game, just given the fact that Detroit isn't good against the pass, and they don't like to put Tony Pollard in a really, really heavy workload. So I like Dak to go over. I'd like to say Jared Goff will go over 252. I don't want to say easily. Um, um, I'm trying to think of a number like I projected Jordan Love and I absolutely nailed. I'll say like 263 for Jared Goff. So I'll take the over on him as well. Um, and you like the overs for both the quarterbacks as well, given the fact that we're just both expecting this game to go over in total points.
The only way that I see Dak not hitting 275 would be that they take an early 14-0 lead, 10-0 lead, and they're trying to do a change up. Because once in a while, the game plan, they do try to change it up. I mean, there was a game when Pollard ran for 100 plus and Dak barely hit 150. I don't see that happening this game at all, but there's always that slim chance if he doesn't hit it, it's gonna be because the run game stepped up to for the game, and that's the only way I see it. Jared Goff, 252. The only reason I like that is because I think they're going to be playing from behind. I can't wait for the over under for pass attempts to be posted because most likely I'll be going with the over for the pass attempts for Jared Goff too. I see him slinging 75 to 100 yards in the fourth quarter to make up for it. I think at halftime he'll be sitting probably around 160 to 180, which he'll have to make up at the end. And I think he hits it. Same with Dak.
Some of
Dak,
our
yeah.
um, some of our favorite player props, we're going opposite teams here. I like Brandon Cooks to go over 37 and a half. I think CD is going to get a big workload against a bad Detroit secondary that's also beat up. They're without a few key pieces for their corners and safeties there. So I think CD is going to get his yards. He's going to get his catches. But I think, like I'm projecting Dak to sling it around. I think, excuse me, I think Brandon Cooks over 37 and a half at minus 114 is, in my opinion, it's a steal because Cooks, he's one of those guys that could have 23 yards for like two catches, or he could really, really show out and have five catches for like 90 yards. So 37 and a half, I like that as the play.
I am going with my go-to person for Detroit. I've been following Detroit a lot this year, and Sam Laporta seems to be their go-to target. Someone on the offense had to step up this year, and that has been his go-to target. When he needs a catch, he's looking for Laporta. So I hope, in a sense, that Dallas isn't quite ready for it because I have him at 50.5 yards, and I'm going with the over on him. And I think that'll take about 4 or 5 catches. So I'm hoping that he gets his targets. I see very well this game, him hitting over 50.5 and him hitting his target receptions of at least 4 or 5 catches this game. He has a few other ones that he can throw to, but I see Sam Laporta being the one to step up again when time is needed.
And you originally had him as your anytime touchdown play, and you switched it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I like. I like it at plus 125. I forget what you had Laporta at, but so you got St. Brown as your anytime touchdown score. And I'm going with the tight end on the opposite team. I'm going with Jake Ferguson. He just gets touchdowns at home. I mean, I don't know what it is about playing at home. I don't know if it's because we're just a better offense. at home, but going Jake Ferguson at plus 120. And we both like CD Lamb. I didn't jot it down in our notes that we're doing here, but I'm going CD Lamb as well. I think CD Lamb could have two, if I'm being honest. But we both like CD Lamb, and then I'm going Jake Ferguson, and you're going Amon-Ra St. Brown. Are you gonna go back to Sam Laporta, or are you sticking with St. Brown?
I'm really liking St. Brown because, to be honest, I see St. Brown a bomb throw. I see him going two targets in a row. He's going to hit a 30 plus yard reception, then he's going to go right back to him for a touchdown. If he doesn't do it, he's going to get that one catch for 40 plus yards into the end zone. There's going to be a bomb to the end zone, and Laporta's not the tight end to run down 40 plus yards for the catch. It's going to be St. Brown. He's their go-to receiver for those kind of routes. And so I'm sticking with St. Brown. I do still think that Laporta has a chance, but that would have to be a red zone TD. It's not going to be your outside the red zone TD that I'm expecting St. Brown to have. CeeDee Lamb, almost a given, minus 170.
And
That's
moving
not.
along here, we are both on the Cowboys money line and the spread. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties here. Are you good on your end?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Sometimes you know how it goes with podcasts. This is the
Like I,
Arizona to Pennsylvania difference.
yeah, but I was just saying that we're both on the Cowboys money line and on their spread at 4.5. Um, moving along to our four leg parlays. This is not our builder. This is kind of something else. I'm sorry, our ladder. So four leg parlay. I got mine at plus 160. I got Dak to throw for 250, Jared Goff to throw for 225, David Montgomery to have 25 rushing yards, and Brandon Cooks to have two receptions at plus 160. I honestly really thought about that as my builder. I'm sorry, as my ladder. I keep saying builder, as my ladder. But I'm just going to stick with it as just a separate four leg. At plus 160, I really like it. So that's my four leg for the game.
Oh, I agree. I think it's a great four lay. I think four leg parlay. I think it has multiple chances to hit. The only reasons it's not going to hit is for reasons that we've already mentioned above, but that definitely has some strong odds of hitting for the four leg. My four leg, I'm trying to split it up a little bit. I want Laporta to get to 25 yards. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I have him at 3 plus receptions on that. And I have Jared Goff to throw at least one passing TD. He most likely has to throw the passing TD for us to hit our anytime TD scores, but I don't think one passing TD will be an issue. I easily see two, if not three. I think three might be a stretch, but at one plus passing TD, that's sitting at minus 155 if you had Tony Pollard for 25 rushing yards into that. So just to sum up, the four leg was Laporta, 25 yards, Laporta, 3 plus receptions, Pollard, 25 yards, and Goff, one plus passing TD at minus 155. I think that's a great four leg parlay to build off of.
Best finds for the odds. This one should be really nice at plus 110. I will say I'm surprised that it's not minus 110, but mine is for the Dallas Cowboys to score in all four quarters. Um, the only way that they wouldn't is if they just absolutely just come out flat and they just don't do anything the first quarter. They're constantly punting. Or you can go the other route and they get up big and then they're just running the ball, the entire fourth quarter and just kind of not marching down the field with Dak's arm. So best finds for the odds. I love the Cowboys to score in all four quarters. You can get that at plus 110.
My best find for the odds also has to go with the Dallas Cowboys at minus 3.5 for first half. I think it's going to be a 21-10, 21-17 type of game at halftime. More than half the points for the over/under are going to be scored. It's going to be a blowout the first half, and I'm hoping that it comes out on the Cowboys and the start at least. Minus 3.5, plus 105. Let's run with it.
And now we see the difference in myself and Andrew on where we're at on our ladders. Andrew has his $150 ladder, and I'm still at my $40 ladder. Here's the thing. We are going with the same bet. It'd be nice if I was at 150 as well, and then we could both absolutely rise up, or we could just lose $150 together. But um, we had so it's a four-leg parlay. We had three of the same, and then our last one was different. And then Andrew threw something in that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change mine. So our ladders are the same bet, which is the first time this year, which should be some fun. So, hey, we both rise or we both fall together. Like I said, Andrew, this is his $150 bet, and this is my $40 bet. It's at minus 107. So we're very, very just about at that close, doubling our money. Dak, 225 passing yards. CeeDee Lamb, 60 receiving yards. Tony Pollard, 25 rushing yards. And Sam Laporta, 25 receiving yards. That is the four-leg ladder challenge play for Andrew and myself. The same play, like I said, at minus 107. We both love it, Andrew.
Oh, for sure. And what I am going to say is if you haven't already followed us on TikTok, follow us on TikTok because we have all of our previous ladders on there and it'll explain how I got up to 150 so fast. I can thank the Browns last night for a killer parlay deal that definitely executed my ladder pretty fast. They definitely helped. And I've been doing well on these parlays for ladders. So I've been sticking with that. And we are super excited to see where this leads us because I am now sitting at three in a row to get here. I started off rough and then we've been able to recover from there. So we're excited to be able to place this one and see where this one ends. Like I said, we might hit our $1,000 by the end of the season. We got tonight's bet, we got a Monday night game, we got a Thursday night, and then we're gonna have the following week, which will be a lot of fun when a lot of teams aren't playing for any contention. So that'll be very, very picky about what we choose for that one.
Um, and I will say, whenever we don't record, he plugged our TikTok there. It's just constant deposit on TikTok. Whenever we don't record, that is when we're going to upload our plays. Whether if it's not NFL, it's going to be a college hoops bet, an NHL bet, NBA bet once the NFL season's over. So if we don't record, that's where our plays will be. If you're expecting to see, some new episodes here, time as well. We're both on different time schedules, different time zones, so that's where some of our plays will be going in the future is on our TikTok. So yeah, Detroit and Dallas should be a great, great Saturday night game. Got a lot of nice bets. Looking to win a lot of money. And yeah, you ready, Andrew?
Yeah, the only thing that I didn't mention was if we hit that ladder bet, we'll be sitting right around $295 going into Sunday's action, which will be super exciting because our TikTok will have our Sunday's action too. If you're wondering what it is, he already mentioned it, but we will have it in the link below for the YouTube or for YouTube. That way you can just make sure to keep following us and see what we're up to from week to week. But that's all that I have, Kyle.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're all set. Detroit and Dallas tomorrow, Saturday night, 8 o'clock on ESPN and ABC. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of money being made. Can't wait. Be sure to like and subscribe to our page. And like I said, and like Andrew mentioned, stay tuned. Follow us on TikTok and turn on those notifications. We'll be posting a lot of plays there. We're gonna try our best to keep episodes coming here on YouTube. But in the meantime, everyone have a great Happy New Year. If you are of the age, have some fun on FanDuel with some NFL this weekend. Should be a great slate. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Kyle.